So this is me. My name is Glafira. I am originally from Minsk, Belarus, and now I'm living in Lithuania. I don't know why. Have no idea. I am a front-end team lead and also an accessibility lead. That happens in a nice company called Spur IT. We are doing e-commerce experience for everyone in this world, and our work is based on the famous e-commerce platform called Shopify. And Shopify supports accessibility, like really supports, so we should follow this idea. So that's why I am there, because our clients want accessibility, and they hired me exactly because of this. So yeah, let's continue a little bit about me. This is me and my team. I am a kind of a accessibility expert there, so I am trying to involve everyone in this topic, and sometimes too much, too bossy, I would say. Yeah, so trying to involve everyone, trying to encourage everyone to use the accessibility ideas in their work, like from the manager to the designer, and it works fine actually for me, not for them. A lot of things to learn. Also, I am a big fan of the community idea. I really like to work on some communities projects, and I am the initiator of the first one of the Accessibility Club Minsk. It's the legal branch of the Accessibility Club, original one. There is an original one, just Google it. And also I am teaching people on the digital accessibility courses. It's actually in Russian, so if you know this language, and if you are really excited about accessibility or want to learn it, so just check the course. It's pretty good. I'm laughing there a lot, with no reason, actually. Also, I am a program committee member of some great meetups in Minsk, like Minsk CSS, Minsk JS, like the brother of this one, I'm pretty sure. And also the conferences, CSS Minsk JS. I just like the brand. And the famous Beer.js Summit, it's exactly about it, about beer and JS. So it's a great community and great event. Just miss it a lot because of the COVID. And I'm really proud to say that I am the ambassador of the WTM community. It's Google's initiative, Women Tech Makers. So if this community is providing an information, resources, a scene for women in technologies, we are happy to encourage everyone. So I'm really excited to plan some events with this idea. So if you have any idea, just write me and we'll do something together for women in technologies. So this is the main part of this talk. I am not an Angular developer, like, at all. I don't know Angular. Yeah, one happy man there. Yeah, so I am more like accessibility specialist or like native technology specialist, HTML, CSS, JS. But still, I can teach you something, like if you are into the all this Angular stuff. And I can check your site for the accessibility, so you'll suffer. The next thing you really should know is this one. Accessibility is a long word, so the community decided to make it shorter. So we now have this abbreviation A11Y. It can came up somewhere in Twitter, and it's not 11T because there were cases. So 11T is a different thing. So yeah, this was the main you need to know. So let's talk about accessibility a little bit. What is it and why you should care about it? But actually, I'm pretty sure you will already care about it. When we are talking about accessibility, we mean like everyone. So every people in this room, every people outside, every person outside this room too. So we are going to make our interfaces accessible for everyone. Doesn't matter who has some conditions or something like this. So when we are doing some applications, we think about at least two main things. First, it's people. In the world, people with disabilities is about 15%, and this number doesn't look like big, but in this case, when you see the Earth's population about 8 billion people, and from them it's about 1 billion, numbers are difficult, 1 billion and 176 million people with disabilities, and it's like a lot. You're missing like a huge auditory. Also to this 15% of people, it's not included like some temporary disabilities, like when you have your arm broken or something like this, which affect your interaction with the applications, with the web. So and also some temporary things like not temporary, conditional, like brightness outside or like a low battery in your mouse. So you're going to use keyboard because your mouse is broken, and it's actually a bad idea. Just try some keyboard interaction with your websites. Just open some not Google is accessible, some website like service, public service, I don't know. And like go through it with the keyboard, and it will be a mess. You even won't see where are you. And the first was the people, and the second one is the legislation. Now our world is growing in this sphere, so almost every country has some accessibility legislation, and it's growing. I won't stay here like for a long time, just check it, and some of them are working now. So for United States, it's almost a requirement to fix sorry and accessibility on your website, to build accessibility for applications. And in Union, oh my god, Europe Union, it will be required from 2025, and in Canada it's now. I work for a project, like Canadian project. We are fixing the application, and it's really, I don't know, it's hell. So just check it and follow from now. So let me describe a little bit the field of the problems we have now. The first one, I will tell you about the most, the biggest issues for the web, especially because we are talking about Angular. So first thing is like really a huge problem for users with disabilities. It's page structure. What are the issues? First, the page has no unique title, and it's pretty common for the Angular applications because they are single page applications, and we just don't remember to change the title for our browser. So because it's only one page, and we have only one title, but title is the first thing that user hear. So like screen reader users, there are screen readers, they can read everything on the screen. So just a small information for you. Yeah, so it reads your website, and for the blind users, they are a huge helper. So they will read the title first and then the content. And if title is not unique, so the screen reader user has no idea where they are, like they are on the login page or on the main page somewhere, they don't know. So the next one, page lacks H1 heading, or there are three H1 headings. So the problem is that H1 indicates the main content, the start of it. So, and for example, the screen reader users, sorry, screen reader users, they can reach it in 1K. So they can push only HK and they will find the H1 and they will assume that it's the start of the main content. But yeah, sometimes there is no H1, or for example, it's a logo. So logo is not the main content, and after the logo we have all the navigation. So we need to skip it somehow or do something to go to the main content. The next one is headings should go level by level. We can't miss levels. We can't place, for example, H3 before H2. So yeah, and we should see the heading structure as a document outline. So like in a book, in some documents, we have predefined outline, pretty strict, so it helps us to navigate through the document. The same for the, for example, blind people or people who are navigating with following the visual structure of the headings, like the biggest one, smaller, 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 and so on. So heading structure is really important. The next one, missing landmarks. We have a possibility to structure our document with the landmarks. Landmarks are including main, header, footer. Its name is not footer, it's like content info, like its role is content info. So anyway, the tag is footer. So like this, and landmarks are pretty useful because again, the screen reader user can push only one key to go through all the landmarks. They can reach the navigation, they can reach the main content, the header and the footer in one key. So it's pretty useful for them to have a document structured by these landmarks. Oh, the next one is for me, it's the biggest issue of the web. What's going on? We're really missing the keyboard accessibility because we are all like developers. Developers means div, you know. So every component we create, like custom component, we're creating with divs. So divs are not accessible from the keyboard, so it's a bad solution. The main problems for the keyboard users, and actually, you know, keyboard is like when you are supporting keyboard, you are supporting almost all the types of disability, like blind people, people with tremor, and so on. So it's really useful. So the first one, we can see where the focus is. So this like ugly outline for the interactive controls. Designers just they're asking to like remove it, and we just do it, and it's bad because now there is no outline, and the user can't see where they are. The next one, illogical focus order. It's not that common, but anyway, it's more common now when we have like really brilliant designs. So we are developing something in code like one by one, and then we are changing the order of our elements with styles. And it affects the user who is expecting that the focus will go like one by one, but it will go somehow like in a logical way because we changed the order with styles. The next one, inaccessible controls. That's what I said about divs. When we program everything with divs, these controls are inaccessible with keyboard. And also, there is no possibility to skip navigation. This is not that obvious because for us, like for people who use mouse to navigate the website, it's these like skip links, they called skip links, they are invisible. They will be visible only with the keyboard. And we need to have them because we have sometimes really huge navigation at the top of the page and we need to skip it somehow and we have no possibility to do it, and this skip link will move you just to the main content, like when you're clicking it or activating. So we need them, and also filters, for example, in e-commerce. So yeah. And the next one is the keyboard traps. Sometimes I meet it on the websites, like when I'm trying to write some date from the keyboard, and there is a calendar appearing, and I can't go to this calendar with keyboard, and I can't leave this date field. So it's a focus trap. I just can't leave it. So don't know what to do next. Just reload the page, and then again, because I have keyboard still, so I have no possibility to skip this field with keyboard trap. The next one is labels. Labels are pretty useful, but sometimes we lack them because, for example, we do some controls with like icon buttons, so like for toolbars or so on. And these icon buttons, they are like understandable. Okay, this is an edit button or close button or delete button, something like this. But if they have no text inside them, so for the blind user, they are nothing. They are just buttons, and the user doesn't know what to do with them. So yeah, sometimes interactive controls lack labels. The next one, labels are not programmatically discernible. It means that you have the visual label, but it doesn't connect to, it doesn't, yeah, okay. So it's not connected to the field. So we need to connect it. Sometimes screen readers can guess what's the text is this, like it's near the field, so maybe it's a label for a field, but there is only one screen reader for now which can do it. The next one, labels are long and redundant. Sometimes it happens, sometimes. I need to go faster actually. The next one, labels are not unique. It's about like buy now buttons, read more links. When you're a blind person, you can see all the buttons on the list or on the web page, so in one list. So when you see the bunch of the buy now buttons, you have no idea what are they, what are you going to buy. The next one, visually hidden labels. So this one is about when you are smart enough to add your like label to the interactive control with an icon, like for example to an icon button, a close button or something like this. So you do it through the visually hidden text. And now the screen reader user has the idea what's this button about, but not the sighted user. They and it's pretty common to to add some titles to the buttons, so you can hover on the button and the title will appear. So this will be a kind of a visual label. So, and the color and contrast, it's a battle between designers and programmers, so like every time. The idea is that a lot of designs has poor color contrast, so you just can't understand what's on the screen because, I don't know, because you sleep not so well or you are outside and there is a bright sunshine, something like this, so you just can't see anything. So the poor color contrast is a huge problem for you. Also, there are colorblind people who can't understand which color they see. So sometimes we have some issues, like we have numbers, they are growing, so they are green, and they are going down, they are red. So when they are just green and red, the colorblind person won't understand their meanings. They even can't guess because it's the same color for them, for example. So we need to think about these issues. The last one is the color is the only way to convey information. It's sometimes it's a huge issue for some applications. I told you about the previous example with the numbers, so we just need to add some significator to them, like maybe some arrows up and down, and we'll like fix the problem. Color won't be the only way to convey the information. So let's get closer to the Angular, actually, finally. What should we use? Like, that was the small introduction to the accessibility and to accessibility problems for the user. And now we'll try to resolve some of them. And we'll see where to find the resolution for another one. So what we need an Angular material library, UI library. I'm pretty sure there is, for example, a React Angular material. I'm pretty sure it's the same from the accessibility point. They have the same things, so just check it. The next one is HTML, CSS, of course, because we still work with them, even when we are programming in the Angular. The next one is the accessibility standards, WCAG, and the great resource, How to Meet WCAG. It's much more simpler than the previous one. Yeah, of course, you need the head on your shoulders, but yeah, I won't explain this one. I just pretty sure you already have it, but you need some accessibility ideas in your mind. So, the Angular material. First of all, Angular is pretty accessible now, like Angular material, I mean. They have components, like predefined components, so please check them, please use them, because I know there are lots of developers who are developing their own custom controls, even if they are in these component libraries. So just do it, because they have a lot of things like predefined. For example, the components are using the native elements like inputs, buttons, checkbox is the input too. So yeah, what does it mean? It means that the keyboard accessibility is already included. So you don't need to write tons of JavaScript to provide the keyboard navigation for these controls. The next one, yeah, no, it's an example. I just took this example from the Angular material website to show you that they provide this code sample. You need to copy it and paste, and see here is this input. So everything will be accessible from the keyboard. The next one, built-in accessibility. So the Angular material library is already providing you some behavior, like which they assume as an accessible behavior. So in this example, I copied the input type email code, and there is a label, like error label. So we just provide some information about it during the code, and then it renders. And in the browser, it looks a little bit different, like a lot of additional information, and I just deleted a lot of the information already. So I left only the accessibility related things. So what do we see? We see some unusual area prefixed attributes. And that's that's how it works. They are already there. So for example, I did something wrong with this input, and now I have the error label. What do I need? I need to connect this label with the field. So the screen reader, which will go to this field, will read its label, of course, and then after the label, it will read everything which was provided by area described by attribute. So area described by is for description of this input. Without this, the user will know nothing about the error. So, and there are some other area attributes. I won't stay here for long. Just ask me later if you don't understand it. So the next one, Angular material is already providing some best practices, like behavior best practices. It's based on these authoring practices I show you. Here is the link. I will share the slides after. So this is a huge help when you are when you don't know how to code something in accessible way. Just go to this service, like resource, authoring practices, and you'll find the solution. Like there will be code examples, there will be behavior explanation and keyboard navigation and so on. So it's pretty helpful. So for example, we need a dialog. Dialog is actually a model window, and for to let the screen reader user know that it's a model window appeared somewhere somehow, they don't know about it when they push the button. So we need to provide some extra information, and it's already in the Angular material. It's time already. I'll be really fast. 5 minutes? Sorry. 2 minutes. Okay. So yeah, there is predefined things in Angular material. Yeah, again, I show you they are rendering there. So, and there are accessibility recommendations for each control, how to use it in accessible way. The next one, really fast. There is a Angular material component dev kit. You already have some predefined things to add to your interfaces. First, the list key manager. When you are building the custom lists, you need to provide some keyboard navigation. So this will help you to do it. Just read about it. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, but just remember about it. You need to add some keyboard navigation, extra keyboard navigation. The focus monitor. I told you about the designers. They always want to delete the focus. So you can do it by understanding which source of the focus was it. For example, if it was focused from the keyboard, it's the one style, and from the mouse click, it's another one style. And the Angular provides some classes for it. Also, focus trap. There is a pretty simple directive you can use to trap your focus inside some element. So interactivity checker will help you to understand your element is like disabled, focusable, tabbable, or visible. It's pretty useful too to add some styles to it. Also, live announcer. It helps screen reader users to understand what happened on your web page. For example, some notification appeared, so we need to give them an understanding of it. So we are announcing it like with a screen reader, make it say it out loud. Also, visually hidden class to hide the text we don't need to see, but still need for a screen reader user. And the high contrast mixin, it's nice. In Windows we have this possibility to change the contrast scheme, and sometimes our controls are disappearing because we don't have styles for them. So in Angular you can check it and add some additional styles. For example, borders for buttons. Yeah, please use HTML semantics, like really use it. You still need your structure to be clear. And for CSS, to hide your elements from the accessibility technologies, use display none or visibility hidden in CSS, and also this CDK visually hidden class. Yeah. Use semantics, build a good document outline, use native controls, please, accessibility CDK features, and may the force be with you. No, I won't tell you about it. It's a few slides about the standards, accessibility standards, just check them. And this resource I told you, also some testing tools, like automatically testing, they can test your website. Checklists to get closer to the accessibility. Yeah, thank you. I hope no questions.
So I have a good message. Only one question.
Nice.
We don't
From
have
you?
time for more. From me? Yeah, there's one. However, there was someone faster than me.
Thank you, Glafira.
Yeah.
Спасибо, Glasha.
Thank you.
Great presentation. I have a question. I actually have two questions. One,
As
only
always,
one.
as
Okay.
always.
What's your attitude to the tools which automatically apply the?
Oh no, just don't continue. Yeah, I understood.
if
There are
the-
some, yeah, there are some plugins which are automatically add accessibility to your websites, right?
Yeah, if there a chance that those tools will I don't know,
help?
maybe in future, maybe they will become somehow usable, or we
Mhm.
just need to forget about them.
You should forget about them because they change your website code in a predictable way. So sometimes I tested this like famous Accessibility plugin. It's a mess, really. When your site is not prepared, so when you have divs everywhere, like not buttons, it doesn't help. It doesn't change your buttons to buttons. So it doesn't make a lot of things, doesn't do a lot of things. So just forget about it, please. So yeah, and we'll talk about it later.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
Good news, Glafira. That's all. Thank you for your strong opinion, and it was cool. Amazing.